Hello, Internet. Welcome back to our Refugee playthrough. In the last episode, we continued exploring. Yeah, we would like to get into this outdoorsman shop. I think we're going to focus that now that we are no longer weary. We did get a full night's sleep, which allowed us to recover almost all the health on our limbs. And of course, removed our weariness, which is the main reason that I was drawing back at the end there. So let's get back out there. Do some looting. I still never turned my sound down, so that's always a good start to the video. Sorry, I'm not the best YouTuber in the world. I was just busy working the horse. That's a callback to the last episode. One of them did follow us home, so we will kill this zombie here. It is a callback to the last episode where I made a not funny joke and then felt embarrassed and spent the next 30 seconds sounding like an idiot. So that's actually a resurrected zombie. We may have failed to pulp one of the ones in the area. I thought it had followed us all the way down here from before, but we're going to head up this way. We saw a fair bit of monster density surrounding the outdoorsman shop, and I was concerned about, one, we had weariness, so I was concerned about a multiplier on our damage, and also, two, I was concerned that they would break out the windows and set off more alarms, and because this one is further over, we haven't cleared this area at all, so it might draw even more zombies. Doesn't look like they did that. Weird that there are vending machines in the outdoorsman shop. We see a zombie runner. There were 2 or 3 right here. Various monsters. So we kind of want to be a little cautious as we approach. We see a crawler. Okay, a couple zombies. There's a child zombie now. So there are still some in there. They're just being obscured by these little walls here. So we want to be cautious. Okay, there we see the horde now. Oh, can we look at the brainless zombie now? Oh, that they did have that tile before, didn't they? I commented about how I had made a video and they didn't have sprites, but that looks very familiar. So I do think that sprite existed. Maybe it was the listener and brain, the skull zombie that didn't have sprites. I don't remember now. All right, regardless, there's quite a few enemies there that we want to be a bit cautious about. The fencing is going to keep them in there for a bit. Let's see. I don't know if the child zombie even has the ability to smash the fence. Once the firefighter comes over, so if you don't know, in Cataclysm, when there's a cluster of zombies together, their bash strength actually goes up. So their ability to smash furniture and stuff gets higher the more enemies that surround them. So those two together should likely be able to smash the fence, and there they come. So let's back up again around the building. They'll follow us, but presumably, 1 or 2 at a time. So let's see if they track all the way over here. Just pass some time. Doesn't look like it. Let's check the corner. See the child. Can't see us. Now they're coming around the corner, including a runner, which is mildly concerning. Okay. And we want them to get stuck on the... Okay, a little too smart for their own good. Actually path around the bushes instead of through the bushes. So that's 2. I think there was also a firefighter and then 1 standard zombie there, if I recall. Looks like we lost some. We are bleeding, but I'm not really worried about it. I'd like to kill the firefighter while he's on his own. That way we don't have to worry about an armored creature giving us grief while we're trying to fight other zombies. And we do need to repair our knife spear as well. Something I should have done before we left. Our clothing is taking a beating. I did glance at our clothing earlier. So we are losing some durability on a lot of different things, but we're okay. And the knife spear is not as bad as I thought. How are you doing damage-wise? 4 and 17 compared to 5 and 19. So we're down 3 points of damage. That's not terrible. See what you got, fireman. History of Firefighting is a good book to have. A wallet with 39 items. Got the hiccups a little bit. Let's check what we've got in this thing. Lots of cash. Really wish those bills would stack instead of listing as separate items, but that's fine. Not really anything we want off of him. Everything's a little too damaged. We will take that nice firefighter helmet, I guess, since it's in pretty good condition. And then let's pulp the corpses of the zombies we left behind. No, don't pick the fern. Nothing we really want there. And then the child zombie, some cookies. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm not a big cookie guy. I was in my youth, I guess. So many zombies still over here, which is not great. Some of which are going to have a hard time seeing us. We would like to keep clearing, though, so let's keep pulling them. We've got the attention of a few. Let's see who comes over here. The runner, I would suspect, is going to be the first around. Let's start here and fight our way back since they tend to get caught on the edge of the building. Excuse me. You ripped me while I was sprinting. Good for you. It's because they're so dang fast. They are landing some blows on us, unfortunately. Come on now. I also heard a zombie die. It's possible they died on some bushes around front. We need to stop sprinting, unfortunately, as the tough zombie comes. Let's try to lure him to the bushes and see if we can slow him down on the bushes, because our stamina is not going to hold out. We did manage to kill him before he got any hits in. That's great. Some almonds. Not really anything else I want. Take the wallet, I guess. And although we're low on stamina, you know what? Let's get our stamina back. It's fine. Hello, Zambi. A lot of blood here. I'm just now noticing we are surrounded by just heaps of blood. Always exciting in the apocalypse. Oh, man. I don't know what to talk about. I've been writing some more since we're talking about the apocalypse. I am writing a story that's set somewhat in a Cataclysm-esque universe. It's not quite Cataclysm. I am changing things, of course. I don't know the exact lore of a lot of things in Cataclysm, so a lot of the time I'm making things up as I go. But yeah, it's been. Oh, it's unlocked. How about that? So we will loot most everything. Oh, they're in glass cases. Of course they are. So in order to take them, we would have to set off the alarm. Swim fins? Absolutely not. Swimming booties? No, thank you. Boots? I mean, what are the fitting pair? What do they look like? What's their encumbrance? 6? That's not bad at all. And they're better protection than our sneakers. We're going to take off our sneakers. And we're going to put on these boots that fit. Sneakers. Sneakers are quite damaged anyway. Throw on the boots. Zombie to our south might break the glass. Glow stick. Filled with glow stick juice. How about that? How about that? We'll take the glow stick. Let's just look at everything. These cans we want. Animal cooking oil. Okay, so some food down there. Modern trapper and a hacksaw. We definitely want a hacksaw. So let's head up there first. Grab the hacksaw. In case we have to run away, we want the hacksaws first. Glass case. Mess kit. Alpha male. And these were arrows. Yeah, it'd be nice to pick up the arrows just to have them. Looks like the zombie did smash the glass and no alarm went off, which is a bit peculiar. Food fashion for young moderns. Okay, I don't know what that means. Don't know what that means. Shouldn't just fight you in melee. What's the point of a reach weapon if I'm just gonna stand next to you? Okay, you're very fast. I guess we're in pain, aren't we? Yeah, a little bit. Would help if I actually hit you when I swung at you. Would make this much easier. Okay, yep. Okay, just sprint. My God. It's just too fast. They're keeping up with me. Okay. Go back. Anything over there spotted me? Nope. Okay. Let's go grab this food out of here. All the food. Yeah, I've been writing. Trying to force myself to write has been not great. I'm definitely falling behind, and it's definitely been much slower than I would like. There were... I want to drop cheese spread. Where's the... small tin can? We're running out of space. I don't really want to drop anything. We'll just head back and drop stuff off. Oh, are you following? No, you're not following me. You're to the south. We want to go around the building to avoid those to the south. We'll head back to base. Let's use the auto walk function. I almost never use this thing. Zombie spotted. Yes. Why would you go this way? Why wouldn't you go like in a straight line? Why would you go south to where the zombie is? So now we have a zombie following us. Let's kill the zombie. Okay, sprint. trying to force myself to write is not really good. I don't think you should do that. I always come back to, I know we've talked about this before. There's a quote from Stephen King. He said something like, amateurs wait for inspiration, the rest of us just go to work. And that's always stuck with me. You know, I don't really, I don't know if I believe in writer's block or not. My general take is that writers, at least the writers I've interacted with, and I'm speaking for myself, so don't take this personally if you're listening to this and you also write. But in my experience, most writers are lazy, is what it comes down to. So when people say they have writer's block, what they mean is they're having a hard time sitting down and doing the work. It's my opinion that writing is very much just work. You either put in the work or you don't. People always say, oh, I wish I could finish my novel. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. In my opinion, if you sit down and actually force yourself to put in the energy and time that is required, if you actually think about what you're doing and sit down, get rid of Twitter, get rid of your cell phone, sit down, put a blank Word document on the screen and just start at a point where you're excited to write that scene. So maybe it's boring to write the beginning. Maybe you're stuck on a scene in the middle. Just skip it and move on to the next scene and then come back later once you have your juices flowing and give it another go. So in my opinion, writer's block is a fabrication. Like there's no such thing as plumber's block. There's no such thing as electrician's block. They just go and they do their work even when they're not super in the mood to do so. So my take on writing is always just it's work and you need to put in the work or you're never going to succeed. So although when I force myself to write, I do find that I get generally worse results than if it comes to me and I'm in like the muse speaks to me and I'm overtaken by my desire to write. Obviously, that is when the best writing happens. But for the most part, once I get going, I can usually stick to it. But the last few days, I think I've written maybe 1,000 words over the last 2 days, just really not putting in the work at all. And it's just been a little difficult. I'm also trying to get back to daily videos on Cataclysm on YouTube. So I am focused a little bit more on recording every day than I have been. So just less time for writing, but also just haven't really been putting in the work that I need to put in. So the writing hasn't really been coming along very much. And even when I was writing every day, it was only like 10,000 words a week, which is really, really low for me. Not really, really low, but it's low for me. Last time I really wrote a novel, it took me probably about a month, like 3 weeks to a month to finish the first draft. But back then I was working, but I wasn't doing YouTube and I really didn't have anything to do. So I would just spend all day writing, which is obviously not feasible at the moment when I'm trying to get other work done. So writing's been a little lackluster. Oh, we're supposed to get a question anyway. Why am I philosophizing about my writing? Scroll, 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 highlight. If you could know the truth behind every conspiracy, but you would instantly die if you hinted that you knew the truth, would you want to know? Well, that's real dumb. I'm not going to answer that question because it's real dumb. We're going to pick a different question. Well, I will answer it, I guess. Conspiracies are almost exclusively not correct, and most of the conspiracy theories in the world are absolutely ridiculous and beyond something that an intelligent person would even consider. So, no, I don't give a crap about conspiracies, even real conspiracies that exist. I just don't care. So, no, I would not want to know the truth about conspiracies because why? What it would, and then I can't tell people about it. What is the point? So let's pick a different question. What's the most awkward thing that happens to you on a regular basis? I have no idea. Awkward things. Well, I'm awkward. For sure, I'm an awkward person. Let's go along the tree line here in between the buildings and see what the main road looks like. Oh, it's boarded up. So we have a survivor house. And yeah, we can hear things inside. We don't want to be near this. Really. Okay. Be careful as we approach the road. I don't really care if that zombie sees me. Okay, I should have peeked first. We do have a firefighter. We do have some other zombies that have seen us. We are in a narrow-ish place. Can I actually climb this one? I can. So we'll make our stand here behind the houses and fight these guys. We are worried about this building because this will contain survivor zombies, most likely, which can be pretty dangerous in the early game. That firefighter is distracted by vandalism, so we'll let him do that. And we'll deal with these zombies first. Oh, you caught up to me. Awkward things. I'm an awkward person, for sure. Talking to people, I am sometimes awkward, especially if I don't know them. I think that my personality... Okay, the most awkward thing I do on a regular basis, I overshare. That is an easy one. I frequently overshare about my personal life, about things that I think and feel about the world. I'm very open about my opinions and beliefs. I talk very frankly about things. So pretty frequently, and you probably noticed this in my content, I will say things like, oh, well, I was an abused kid. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I was being abused, and when you're an abused kid, you do this or you do that or whatever. And that's an overshare. People get upset by that. A grappler, Zambi. Hello, grappler Zambi. You do have the long, stretchy arms. You're pretty cool looking. Undead humanoid, elongated arms drag along the ground as it moves. You're pretty unassuming, honestly. They do, honestly, the grabbers and grapplers, they look silly in undead people. They just look like cartoonishly big arms. They have a big gaping mouth. I actually like this sprite a lot better than the undead people sprite. What else we got? Another boarded up house. That's not great. It's really not great. Survivor zombies, for the most part, don't really drop that. They don't drop very good loot, despite being tougher and more armored than your standard zombie. Are you not going to come over here? You're not. Let's give them something to chase. We'll just back it up. So yeah, I tend to overshare, and it definitely makes people uncomfortable. I do it on Discord all the time. Someone brings something up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I had a girlfriend who beat me. And then people are like, oh, okay, what a weird thing to share with us, you know? And it's like, oh yeah, people don't share the way I do, so it makes it really awkward. And then too, even when it's not like just me being completely awkward, the things I say and do, I'm not typical. I'm definitely not what you would call quote unquote normal. So like I was at work one time, there's this really racist guy at my work that I hate talking to, but he loves to talk. So we got a listener, so they don't have a tile. Like we were trying to decide which ones did and didn't have a tile. And we have a cop zombie. The listener probably won't track us super well, but the cop zombie will. And the exact opposite is happening. Okay. And just regular zombies. Yeah, those survivor houses and boarded up houses are almost never good news. 11 damage. So we can get through your armor pretty easily. I was concerned that would be a much harder thing. Is moving over a downspout difficult terrain? I actually don't know. I wonder if that slowed me down and that's why he moved so quickly. Yeah, I was talking to this guy at work, and I hate talking to him because he's a racist and just really just a disgusting human being. Like, he's really off-putting. And he was talking to me, and he was talking about how he used to own his own business, and his son ruined it because his son is like a heroin addict, and like took money from their company and did some not good stuff. Kevlar vest, 100% we're taking that. How's our inventory looking? Pretty open. It's just we couldn't pick up that shovel. I would like to take that shovel, by the way, but I'm not hauling it back to base just with the haul command. So, I think somewhere in the building to the south, we kind of want to be careful that they don't surprise us here. He was talking about his son being a heroin addict, and I was like, you know, I shared about my brother who has some substance issues. And he was like, yeah, you know, I think his son's like my age. He's like, yeah, you know, he's getting older and he just keeps making mistakes and making mistakes. And I said something like, yeah, I mean, what can you do? All you can really do is love them and try to get them help. And eventually, you know, they'll hit rock bottom and they'll make a decision. Like, you can't make them do something. You have to let them make that decision on their own. Otherwise, it's not true change unless it comes from within. And so my response was like, you know, you just have to keep loving them and keep giving them every opportunity to start recovery. And the guy just looked at me like I was the dumbest person he had ever spoken to. He was just so Like the look, just the blank stare that he gave me when I said you just need to keep loving them. And I felt so stupid. And like I knew that my point is accurate. I know that true change comes from within. You can't force someone to change. All you can do is show them that this is not the correct way to live, and keep caring about them and being, a part of their life so that they can eventually make the decision on their own to make change. And this guy, I guess, I don't know if it's because he's older, maybe it's because I'm younger. My generation has a different view on addiction and stuff like that. But he looked at me like I was stupid, and I felt so embarrassed and awkward. So that kind of stuff happens all the time. I know that I'm not normal. I know that my take on the world is different. My view on the world is different from a lot of people, and it just makes me feel dumb sometimes. And I do tend to overshare for sure. And I say that it's not just here. How do we combine these? We drop them and pick them back up. I know it's not just on YouTube. I am like this in real life. A lot of people get in their head like, oh, well, YouTuber, they're completely different on camera than they are in real life. I'm really not. Most of the silly, ridiculous things that I say and do on camera or talk about on camera, there are also things that I do in real life, which I realize is embarrassing and sort of sad. Why is it separating my fruit? This is all on the same tile. Why is this floor separate from the main floor tile, which is up here? It says food, and then this one is split into floor, even though they're both on the same tile. Are they not? They are. Everything's on the same tile. Well, no, it's starting me in the drug section. I was going to say that's why it's starting lower in the list, but that's not even correct either. Huh. Okay, we'll eat some fruit. We have 4 days left. We'll eat some pears. I don't like pears very much. They're very sandy, very gritty texture. I don't like. I don't know if that's because my pears aren't fresh, but who knows? And we'll eat some veggie pizza. Then we'll have something else to drink. We'll drink some of this perishable food. 3 days on the almond milk. Almond milk has a fair bit of calories to it as well. +1 for almond milk. I like almond milk. And then we'll have some non-calorie, just some water to hopefully slake our thirst. And we're in minimal pain. Have a few aspirin. Man, in the apocalypse, you sure do go through aspirin quite a lot. All right. So one of the things I'm writing, the guy finds a bunch of medical supplies, and he needs to find antibiotics, but the pills he finds are all listed with their chemical names, so he doesn't take them because he doesn't know what antibiotics are actually called. Like, he finds pills that are clearly labeled with drug names that you might recognize as antibiotics, but he has no idea that he has exactly what he's looking for because he doesn't know the actual drug names of antibiotics. And if you think about a pill bottle, I don't think it says on there what the actual thing is. Let me find a pill bottle really quick. I have one here somewhere. So here I have my medication. It says the drug name, tablets, and the actual dosage. It says to take one by mouth at bedtime. Okay, good. I've been taking them by mouth. I'm glad they don't have to be suppositories. Yeah, so this says nothing about what the actual medication does, or why it was prescribed or whatever. So in my story, this guy needs antibiotics and he finds a bunch of pills, many of which are antibiotics, but he has no idea because he doesn't know the drug names of the actual medication. He doesn't know that they're antibiotics, which I thought was funny. And it just made me think of that when I was taking aspirin in the game, because he finds codeine as well. Codeine is the only thing he finds that he actually knows the name of. I don't know why I'm even clearing this house. There's not going to be anything in there. And it's not a survivor house because the landmines would have gone off. There's a listener around here somewhere as well. I don't really know where you got to. Let's pull up these bodies. So the guy does find codeine, and he knows what codeine is. So he does eat. Oh, we did kill the listener. So he knows what codeine is, and he takes that. But yeah, he doesn't know that he has like a sack full of antibiotics, and he really needs some antibiotics. But anyway, hopefully you'll be able to read and or watch that at some point. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to force myself to write, but it's been rough. Man, now there's 4 of them because 2 of them came out of the building. This house is just packed. I don't understand these things either. You know, I know this comes up all the time. But like Cataclysm, we have a real focus on realism, right? So like it's a key part of the development direction is to make things more realistic. So here we have a house that's fully boarded up. Makes sense. In the apocalypse, you know, there was probably a little bit of time where people could fortify and retreat to their homes. So barricading windows and doors makes perfect sense. The problem is we've already killed what, like 6 or 7 zombies out of this house. And here are 2 more that came out of the northern window. And there's still more in there because we keep hearing thumping. So there's like 9 people in this one house. And it just doesn't really make sense that there would be so many people in the house. And then there's also everything is sealed from the outside. So that means that every one of these people died inside the house. Not one of them managed to break away and get out a window or open the door and run away or whatever. It just always bothers me when it's like hefty monster density in a location where it doesn't really make a lot of sense, you know. And you could say like maybe people came along and saw the zombies and boarded them inside. Maybe from like the outside, people put up boards and stuff to prevent them from escaping, but that doesn't really make sense either. It just bothers me, you know, so many zombies inside of a building. Like, look at this little corridor. It's just packed with blood. We probably, I was going to say, are already close to getting weary, but we look okay. We do have a painkiller effect. Yeah, I don't know that I would recognize antibiotics by their drug names. There's like amoxicillin. It's like the only one I know. And I'm pretty sure most antibiotics have like "cillin" in their name. Like penicillin, amoxicillin, and things like that. Cillin, and I want to say cycline, but maybe I'm misremembering. Drugs have that name pattern, like where you will find that many of them have the same like suffixes on their drug names, if you can even call them a suffix. I don't really know what the exact definition of a suffix is. It's not just a thing at the end of the word. It is a specific thing. More motorcycle gear. And elbow pads. We already have elbow pads. There's a lot of leather, but it's so damaged I don't think it's worth taking. None of that interests me. Okay, there should be 1 or 2 more up here. And there's still more in the house, so that's exciting. We at some point should just dive into this house, I think. We're not seeing any other zombies, which is good. And I don't think there are landmines in this one. We would have heard them. We'll take the skirt. We'll start checking the ye olde house. Were there plants? No. Not much there. A wool hoodie. Who would wear a wool hoodie? Hooded shirt. It offers decent protection from the cold. Front pocket offers storage and shelter for your hands. Why is it listed as a shirt? Does a hoodie qualify as a shirt? I guess. There's a fair number of books up front here. We'll take a look at those once we cleared the area. A basement as well, and a locked rear section of the house. Interesting. So the whole rear of the house is locked and has no windows. So again, from a realism perspective, this is almost like comical, like no one's house is like this. And we can't get in there without torching the door. This is one of the doors that I don't think you can pick. Let's get this shelf out of here. Oh, you can pick the lock. Okay, well, yes, stop. I didn't mean to do that. We don't really have enough lock picks to get all the way through the lock, and we're really not good at lock picking. There's a safe as well. My stethoscope is at home. Let's mark this. Safe and secret rear section. I don't know what this would be. We could check the basement. Probably also packed with zombies. Nope, just a random generated basement, one of the big empty ones. A lot of these are popping up. I really don't like how many basements are empty. This was a change towards the end of the last stable, I think, where many of the basements were changed to just be large open rooms with some boxes and really nothing else in them. I really dislike this. Almost everyone who has a basement utilizes it for something, even if it's just storage. So whenever I find a big empty basement like this, it really just seems like honestly, it just seems like a waste of space. We did not check the books. Let's check the books. I know I complain, internet, but I think that a lot of my complaints are valid. Otherwise, I wouldn't share them with you. Drink the harvest. That's probably brewing, would be my guess. Check the bathroom for disinfectant. Hydrogen peroxide will do, and we'll take more soap. We should have a hefty supply of soap at this point to really be able to wash anything we would want. We have found some stuff that's worth a wash, including the Kevlar vest. The dragon skin vest will do for now, but we do kind of want that Kevlar eventually, I think. Then we'll head back to base, drop off our goodies, and we'll call the episode there. We probably should make more lockpicks so we can try to get in that door. Although I may forget about it in the next episode, so who knows. I don't know what would be in there. I can't really think of a reason why a house would be built that way. In real life, I can't really think of what the point of that would be. I'm assuming it's like a hoarder house, not a hoarder house. What's the word I'm looking for? A prepper house. So it's probably like supposed to be like a secret back bunker room. And again, just continues to not make sense. There's like 9 zombies dead in the front of the area. They're not even secured in the rear of the building, where you would assume people would shelter in a zombie apocalypse because they've specifically built a very fortified area of their home. You would think that's where they would be, where the monster density would be. But we've already found about 9 enemies up front, and then in addition to that, there are people in the back. Just doesn't make sense, you know? And whenever stuff doesn't make sense, it really bothers me. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know, what was my question? What's the most awkward thing you do on a regular basis? Let me know in the comments down below what makes you awkward, because I certainly am an awkward person myself, and it would make me feel better to hear that I'm not the only one. So everybody, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. I, of course, will be back with more Cataclysm in the near future, and I'll see you next time.